What's up, everyone? Welcome into another Friday edition of Philly Voice Bets. I'm Devin Caney, joined by Eitan Shander and Harry Mays. This show is brought to you by Rita's Water Ice.
Everybody! Go candy crazy with Rita's new Candy Kapow Ice. And new app users get a free ice when they download and use offer code SWEET. Stop by your local Rita's today and try it before it's gone. Offer expires September 4th.
Be cool, eat a Rita's.
Guys, for the first time in so long, I can say the Eagles play today. I want to get into that in a bit, but first we have to talk about the Phils coming off a horrible loss to the Marlins. Now have to go up to New York and face the Mets. Harry, how are you feeling about this one?
Oh, I'm not feeling good as far as from the Phillies' perspective about this. I watched a lot of the game yesterday, and they had opportunities in those later innings, with men on base and just couldn't get runs over the plate and got shut out by the Marlins. Their bullpen, the Marlins bullpen, did a really nice job with dealing with sliders left and right, and they just couldn't handle it in big spots. And I don't expect them to get much going tonight against Scherzer. I texted Eitan earlier this morning that Max Scherzer is going to cuff him tonight, and so I went in on DK and took under in hits. Right now it's 13.5, and it was at plus 105. I think that's now going down to plus 100, Eitan.
Yeah, I got in at 105. You got in at 14.5, though, right?
Well, yeah, that was 14.5 earlier, and now it's 13.5. And I also took the Mets minus 1.5 runs on the run line at plus 105 on DK. I think this is a straight up loss for those Phillies tonight against Scherzer.
Look, I took that similar route in the sense, Devin and Harry, of I just don't know who's going to win, but I think this is a grind tonight. And Suarez has gotten some run support, and he's settled. He's not going to give up a first-inning run. 4 of his last 6 outings on the road, he has not. The Mets score. They're the best team in baseball scoring early. So if you can withstand that opening punch, right, I think this game has a really strong shot of not only going under, but if you wanted to push it. So the one thing that I looked at tonight from a betting standpoint was just going under 6.5. I got that at plus 110. And I think this is just even if the Phillies scratch one out, which I definitely think is possible.
Yeah,
this is an under. I don't see either team exploding tonight at Citi Field.
This is a game time decision, like literally right now. I think I'm going to take my Superbook app has the over at 7 plus 100. I'm taking the Phillies because I think Rob Thompson wants redemption. I think he's a grinder. You mentioned the word grind. I don't know. I just got a gut feeling, and I think the Phillies could shock everyone tonight. Now, the rest of the series, I'm not saying that they're going to keep that up. I am worried about the rest of the weekend and how they perform, but I don't know. I think that they could upset the Mets tonight and prove people wrong.
So do you have them are you taking them on the money line, or are you going over 7? Oh, sorry,
over 7, not money line. Yes.
So the Phillies win is correlated to you going over.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Which makes sense, right? Because an under game is definitely going to favor Max Scherzer and him going 7-8 innings. I mean, there's an outs prop if you wanted to look at that for Scherzer, basically getting to the 7th inning. And I think that's also kind of going into your play here as well, Devin, because if there's there are a few pitchers in baseball that can have a bad 2nd or 3rd inning and start to look a little shaky in the 5th and still get that benefit, right? Wheels is going to get that benefit, right? Nola, Max Scherzer's definitely going to get that benefit. So it could even play out where Scherzer's pitching into the 8th inning and it's a 5-3 ball game or 4-3 ball game, what have you, where you're kind of hovering around that total. So I like it. I think Scherzer can still be in play from like an out standpoint, and that total still hit. But I get why it's correlated to the Phillies winning.
Yeah, hot take, I know, but thought I'd shake things up.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's Scherzer.
Yeah.
So
I just look at it from his perspective. Like here it is, the middle of August. They've got a huge lead in the division. What are they? 10.5 games up on the Phillies. But the Phillies are still thinking like, hey, man, this division still isn't out of reach. Like, we got a chance to make up big ground this month against this team. Here we're starting tonight in Philadelphia. And Scherzer looks at that and says, oh, yeah, I'm gonna step on your throat, and I'm gonna eliminate all thoughts of you guys catching us, because he's looking for self-motivation. That's the kind of athlete he is. And I think he's going to come out pitching tonight like this is a freaking playoff game.
Well, but this Phillies team, I think, is a different team than the team that faced the Mets earlier in the season. You know, they've got this rejuvenated energy. They've got Rob Thompson now leading the charge. They've added Noah Syndergaard. They've added, and they have guys coming back from injury.
Segura back,
Despite last night's loss, are trending positive for the Phils, and they have that momentum, which I don't think they had before. And I think that could help them. But it could also work to their disadvantage where Scherzer is like, all right, I want to squash these guys now.
So you brought up something with the total going over, and Harry is clearly on the other side from the sense of if Scherzer's doing what Harry expects Scherzer to do, that game's going to stay most likely under 7. Again, things happen. There's always a middle. But where do you think, and I have something that I'm prefacing this with. So the Phillies -0.5 on the first 5 run line is north of 2-1, 225. That's a huge return on a expectation, of course, that Max Scherzer is going to be lights out. But if you have over 7, Devin, and anyone else who's tailing that, of course, right? Do you think that those runs come later? It's just like grinding down Scherzer, or do you think they can get to him in the first 5? Because if you think they can get to him in the first 5, that all of a sudden becomes in play.
I think they need to get to him early, because I think that comeback win we saw them get against the Marlins, like that was incredible. But I don't think that they're able to do that against a team like the Mets. I think in order to win and to cover, they need to do it early. It's not going to be like some 9th inning miracle happening in New York.
Yeah. Usually against a guy like this, if you get him early, it's the first inning.
Yep.
Because then they settle in, and then it's lights out.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, I'm rocking my Eagles gear.
I see that.
Always have to. Go Birds. I'm so excited. It's just a preseason game. I don't know how we feel about talking about bets on preseason, but do you guys have any NFL futures or current predictions for tonight?
Can I just say real quick? We brought this up this morning. I was doing something for 29, and I made sure that they had the clip there, because I don't know. Maybe it's me just doing typical hyperbole here, but I have a feeling that we're going to see the deep. It doesn't have to be the career equation. It doesn't have to be the athlete or just the specimen equation, but I think we're going to see that deep connection. And I go back to that Baltimore Ravens game, the very first play in which T.O. was here. And I was at that game, Harry Mays, all right?
What, is Andy Reid coming back tonight?
I'll tell you, it was a seismic shift only seen out in Seattle when Marshawn Lynch was running and the ground was shaking. I felt the link shaking when McNabb dropped back and threw it to T.O. for the 81-yard score. If we see that first play tonight from Nick Sirianni, I'm telling you, there's going to be something magical about this year. A.J. Brown is the new T.O. That's a hot take.
There you go.
That's a hot take. And I agree with you. And I forget, there were definitely multiple moments last season where Sirianni really tried to come out the gates and just like get it done, and it never worked.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good omen, a good foreshadowing for the rest of the season if Jalen Hurts were to hit A.J. Brown successfully.
Jalen Hurts going to play?
Apparently for the first few series.
This is going to be a lot of Reed Sinnott tonight. Get locked in on him.
That's fine. I want to look at Cam Jurgens, I think, more so than anything, because this is the future now. And this is a great opportunity to look and see how this offensive line can be or maybe not be with him. And as we know, we'll be betting week in and week out on this Eagles team. And if there are any issues at all or concerns with the offensive line, that's going to impact, I think, a lot of people's money. So
what do you think about the over tonight, though? Do you see that total's like 35? That's slightly higher than normal for these preseason games.
Yeah.
What do you think Sirianni's going to do? Right? Like, they don't have any running backs. They had to sign a kid from the Jets. So, yeah, they're probably going to work arms out, right? More so than not. I don't know. The Jets defense is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like a really high total, and I would definitely take the under for tonight. I don't think that that's going to happen from either of these teams, because I'm also excited to see the Eagles defense.
Yep.
I think we've been so focused on like watching how Jalen Hurts is passing game and how our offense is going to perform and how they've kind of worked to improve this offseason, but we've made some major additions on defense. I guess I'm always like a defensive-minded person, like Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean. I hope I get to see them in action tonight. And because of that, I don't know if we're going to hit over 30. Mine's 35.5.
35.5. I'm going to go lines telling me something. I'm going to harken back to a little Mikey miss.
Oh,
And that line's telling me something there, Johnny. I'm
What
going
is
to
that
go
line
over
telling me?
35.5. A lot of garbage time points tonight in the third and fourth quarter with third stringers.
I got 35.5 for Green Bay San Fran. Is that line telling you something? I mean,
Hey.
think about this. All right, there's one actually, just to go off on a small little comparison here. There's one that I did like, and it's sitting at 36.5. And the only reason why it jumped out is because it's really like a point higher than most 35.5 games. And there are a handful tonight that I see on the board. But the Browns-Jags game.
You love the Jags. This
Look,
is all Dougie P.
I went under 35 in that, and I got a pretty good return going up 36.5.
36.5. Wow.
But do we know if Deshaun Watson's going to play?
If he plays, see, that's the thing. If he plays, he's not going to play much.
Right.
Yeah.
And look, Deshaun Watson is a good talent. Like, he's a top 5 talent, but he hasn't won, right? He's now, granted, he's played with dog shit around him more often than not in Houston, and clearly, but Cleveland is not like this huge just pool of talent either. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect from Deshaun quite yet. And the Jags, under 35. All right. You can put that
Oh,
in.
you're going under. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not going over.
No, because I'm seeing 36.5 here.
And I pushed it to 35.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. He's always working those numbers, Devin.
Push.
Didn't he?
Always. I wish there were like more, and we talked about this last time, like fun bets that we could make when it comes to preseason. Like, how many times are Philly sports reporters going to get overexcited when Jalen Hurts completes a pass? And how many times are we going to say that we should trade Rager? I should just start like a bingo card.
I think, hold on, you're onto something here, right? I don't have a pen, of course, but let's look at that. All right. What's the over-under for over-the-top reports? Like, oh my God, this guy's terrible, or oh my God, this guy's going to be in Canton. I mean,
Right.
Rational thought doesn't count here, right? Like, it has to be an obvious.
There will have to be some wide receiver that's deep on the depth chart that makes a play tonight that's going to get everybody excited.
Yeah.
And Elliott Shore Parks will send out a tweet or something, and that'll start a firestorm.
Okay. So what would you say tonight? 4.5 tweets?
I'd go
4.5 tweets?
4.5, and I would go over.
I'd go over.
All right, so that tells us this is market discovery here, right? 4.5. Neither one of you even hesitated, so
No.
let's push it to 5.5.
We've been waiting for
I'm
this.
the house.
We've been waiting for a
5.5.
football game for a long time. I'm going over 4.5. That
you
might
go
be
over
done in the first
6.5?
half.
Would you go over 6.5?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the other one, though, is how many tweets we'll get, or that's easy barometer, right? About Jalen Rager. See, I love that one too, Devin. Okay, let's assume, and we're banking on him doing something just
They're
bad.
trying to trade him.
Right. So let's just say he does, the ball bounces off his face or whatever, he false start, something like that. There needs to be an opening, and that's going to be the opening. So assuming that there's an opening, 15.5, 50.5.
If there's a reason to
Or
tweet
like
about
total, are we talking about total tweets or?
Yeah, I mean, like if
Devin,
Devin puts out trade this man after the ball hits him in the face, you're going to get like 50,000 retweets.
Yeah. So the limit does not exist on that one. Infinite. Okay, wait. Before we wrap up, because we have a few minutes here, there was another fun bet that I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
And that is Kim Kardashian's boyfriend odds. And guys, honestly, some of the names on this list are pretty funny and pretty out there.
What's the one that jumped out for you? That was like the most. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I had to look up who the hell Van Jones is. He's the favorite.
That one was that one was random, even though he has the best odds.
He's plus 800.
What's the connection?
I don't know. He's a CNN guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's like a contributor on CNN or something. I never heard of him.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Van Jones is the favorite at plus 8.
Where's Van Morrison?
No, not Van Morrison. Pete Davidson. Didn't they just break up?
I hate him.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see you as
I am so anti Pete Davidson. It's
why?
not even funny. I can't stand
him.
him.
Why?
I just hate him. There's certain people in entertainment that I just absolutely loathe, and I hate him. Okay,
Oh, my
everything
goodness.
about him. I hate looking at him.
Okay.
I went with Chris Evans with a little bit of value, the running back for the Cincinnati Bengals, the kid out of Michigan, plus 1,400. The Bengals are a hot team. You know, they always latch on. They try to latch on to like, you know, hot things, and the Bengals are hot. They were in the Super Bowl last year.
True.
What do you think?
I like that one. Nick Cannon had to be my front runner.
10-1 for
Yeah,
Nick
it's
Cannon.
plus 1,000.
Yeah.
What's he doing though? I mean, not in the sense of like he's not a celebrity. I mean, what's he doing that he thinks this is going to help him, right? Because
Nick Cannon?
yeah,
I like that
this-
angle though, that the guy would be into it for a reason.
you would have to.
Yeah.
Well, so Nick Cannon used to, I don't know if he was married to, but like had kids with Mariah Carey. Like,
Right.
and he's successful in his own right, but
Oh,
he
absolutely.
really likes like a very successful, strong woman, which Kim Kardashian is.
Yeah, he's looking
Well,
for a
Kardashian
reboot.
is going to be the Kardashian is going to be the accelerator, right?
Mhm.
Like Nick Cannon doesn't join this relationship and
Well,
help Kim Kardashian out,
And
right?
she
Right.
would make him relevant again because I feel
Right.
like he's kind of
Okay.
fallen off. He's not
needs
very
a
relevant
reboot.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she would revamp Nick Cannon. The
Yeah,
one
I
that
like
was an
that.
absolute no to me was Harry Styles. That is just
Yes.
More
not
than
in
Trump?
my years. Honestly, I would go Trump over Harry Styles.
Okay.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
By the way, sign me up. Not that I care about either one in any regard outside of this segment, but if it would cost me $100, if it would cost me, probably I would pay up to $500 of my own money to actually see the world's reaction to Kim Kardashian dating Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like I would pay just to see that reaction.
She was
But
at the
look
White
at-
House with him, wasn't she?
Well,
years
yeah,
ago?
Kanye. I mean, yeah, they
Right,
worked
right.
together. But here's something though. Both of you agreed on this whole redemption thing and how Nick Cannon can find something that can help Kardashian's image to revamp somebody here. Would it not make more sense from a value standpoint to take the 100-1 shot of Johnny Depp,
Ah,
who
Maybe.
could truly benefit from that as well? Now,
Yeah.
Depp is, allegedly a scum and all this other stuff, but I mean,
yeah. I like that.
Kardashian is-
I think Kim is done with the toxic men, which Kanye was, and I think Johnny Depp might be a little toxic. Have to shout out producer Matt saying sources saying I'm plus 1,000. I guess he didn't make the list, but I would take him over Harry Styles too.
Oh, look at that.
What about this Adesanya guy? I had to look who he was. He's an MMA fighter, and he's got like 15 names.
Hey, if you stand out in your respective world for whatever reason, you're going to appeal to the Kardashian
Right.
family.
Mhm.
Right.
So
And if Kris Jenner can like take your business or whatever you do and monetize it, then yeah, you are definitely a viable option there.
Drake just got the face tat.
Yeah.
He's back in the news.
hmm
Michael B. Jordan, these are 30 and 33-1 respectively. So
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
we'll see. Guys, great chatting with you. As always, exciting weekend of Philly sports. Hopefully the Phillies don't get swept, and we'll talk on Monday.
can I sneak one thing in real quick?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So on our chalkboard app, it's pinned to my Twitter account. We have an MLB parlay that's going to be up. If it hits, somebody's going to hit $50. So we're going to do that each and every day here on the chalkboard app. It's really simple. It's pinned to my Twitter account. Just wanted to slide that in there. See if we can give back and hopefully hit some tickets.
Love it.
Beautiful.